Hello, traders. Because of Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com, June the 2nd, 2024. In this edition of your weekend video newsletter, we'll discuss the indices and specifically the S&P 500 testing put wall support at 5,200, dropping 8 points below and then immediately reversing around 12:20 p.m., setting off a rally with call skew jumping, puts liquidated, and the calls continued to ramp higher into the close. In an example of the chicken or the egg, we also saw many sectors jumping with bullish price action and stocks rallying, giving us 10 bullish indicators, 6 neutral, and 4 bearish to start the week. That S&P 500 rally into the close, transitioned back above 5250 support and resistance, with 5300 a major level now to deal with. Very clearly shown on the combo strikes, S&P 500 and SPY together, with a large bar right at 5300 that we need to get above to become more bullish, setting off a nice reversal at the 50-day moving average as well. RSI rising, volume was well above average, accumulation and shorts covering, no doubt. Stochastics and MACD still need to turn, so that may happen on Monday or Tuesday. In addition to a sharp reversal in small cap stocks as the 10-year yield backed off recent highs, we bounced at the 50-day. Note that's pretty flat for the most part, the green line. RSI is rising with Bollinger Bands contracting, indicating we could stay in this range for a bit longer unless volatility picks up on the small cap index. With all 9 small cap sectors showing signs of short covering leading to buying towards the close on Friday. That price action being mirrored by the composite, another indication of broader participation as more stocks were advancing than declining, and the advancing versus declining percentages jumping back above the zero line, S&P in the top panel, mid caps, small caps, and NASDAQ in descending order below that, all indicating we could see this bullish reversal continue into Monday, something we'll be watching keenly as the markets open. That said, with the New York Stock Exchange bouncing with all the other indices, we did see NYMO and NYSE in particular showing signs that it may turn back up. So this is neutral at present. We'd like to see this crossover in a bullish direction, which could happen early in the week as we add bullish indicators starting off on Monday and Tuesday. You can see the bounce. We got a green elder stick on the New York Stock Exchange. In addition to advanced decline rising, we need to make a new higher high, and we need to see the number of stocks advancing versus declining stay above the zero line, and that histogram grow, green bars, into this week. While it would be nice for everything to be bullish going into Monday, the NASDAQ composite, 2,700 stocks, a little bit less bullish on the close. We'd like to see a bullish candle on Friday. We got close, but didn't see the participation in some stocks that would have indicated this is a bullish close as well. Still, nice reversal on Friday. In addition to the New York FANG index, we got a nice reversal above the 50-day, but these 10 stocks need to participate more. MACD and stochastics are still pointing down. So this is a caveat we need to see improve. Here's NVIDIA, just one example of those 10 stocks. Faded on Thursday, Friday. Did give us a reversal candle. Buyers stepping up at the end of the day. With RSI still a bit strong. We did note that Mark Minervini did take his NVIDIA position off on Thursday, I believe. With NVIDIA drifting a bit lower, it's still very bullish. RSI is showing strength. But there were some sellers going into Thursday and Friday. So the bottom line here is we're looking for the New York FANG index to consolidate above this breakout level and for RSI to turn back up in the short term. As previously mentioned, the move lower in the 10-year yield did give a tailwind to small cap stocks with some impact on growth stocks as well, setting off a rally in the bonds with AGG and LQD both bouncing back above the 50-day moving average. RSI rising, MACD and stochastics turning, volume increasing. Looking for the 10-year to fade a bit more, especially if you're in IWM, small caps, or growth stocks. Look for bonds to continue higher and for yields to fade to start the week. At the same time, the US dollar did move sideways, so we'd like to see this move lower if you're bullish equities, especially the international markets, which should help overall with the S&P 500 in the top panel, international markets below. It's fading for the most part, looking for a bounce. If you're invested in any of these indices going forward, with commodities still in a sideways range above its 10 EMA, this CRB index indicates a neutral position with no impact bullish or bearish at the present time on equities into the month of June. That said, crude oil and gasoline products did close near the lows of the recent range, below the 200 and the 50-day moving averages. So if this drops off a bit more into the summer months, that should help line the consumers' pockets and cause some spending that could help retail stocks, with that sector giving us a full-on bullish signal above the 10 EMA. 10 EMA is bullish up and to the right. Volume looking good over the last 6 weeks, with retailers like TJ Maxx in a bullish trend. Volume well above average for the last couple of weeks, with Costco at highs as well, with Abercrombie coming out with numbers that were the best they've seen ever in the company history. Big bullish move on Wednesday. 10 million shares trading hands, with the same in stocks like Deckers Outdoors. So with the dollar mediating near its current support levels, we'd like to see that push a bit lower. And we'd like to see the 10-year back off. If you're bullish equities, look for those indications going into the month of June. All 12 major spider sectors rallied last week, in addition to ancillary sectors like biotechs, adding a bit of bullish action to the main healthcare sector, reversing back above the 50-day moving average. We're looking for all these sectors to follow through this week, with the best performance coming from the energy sector with a nice reversal, followed by retail, real estate, and utilities. Transport's adding nearly 1% on Friday. So look for all of these to continue. If you're bullish the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ, we want to see strength in the latter, with technology bouncing along with semiconductors. Those were the two sectors that didn't perform that well on Friday. So barring that, sectors look pretty good for a follow-through this week. Many of the IBD 50 stocks that we're looking for follow-through over the last couple of weeks, like American Express, showing stochastics finally got oversold. Volume was well above average on Friday. With stochastics turning, American Express most likely will continue its move back above the 21-day and retest the highs. If financials continue to see strength like they did on Friday, look for the banks to continue. Paticus pointing out JP Morgan on Friday, nice reversal. We also saw Citigroup giving us a similar indication. Back on the IBD 50, looking for a rally, as most of the big banks rallied off of the 50-day moving average. Dip here on Wells Fargo, looking for a follow-through. Volume well above average on Friday. Stochastics MACD set up perfectly for a bounce with RSI rising. I would look at new longs with stops underneath the low of the day if we get a third bullish candle on Monday. with Morgan Stanley showing 3 consolidation candles, looking for a reversal. RSI still above 50. Look for a follow through in this bank as well on Monday, along with Goldman Sachs tightening Bollinger Bands. RSI still above 50. MACD and stochastics looking for a turn, volume above average on Friday, with JP Morgan lifting out of an 8-day consolidation headed back towards the highs, coupled with a nice 3-day reversal on Bank of America. A rally here as well would set up all of the major banks for continuation into the month of June. Additional stocks from the IBD 50, Novo Nordisk, healthcare, pharmaceutical, looking for these stocks to continue higher as well, along with some of the IBD 50 stocks in the technology-related healthcare industry. Procep Biorobotics, nice rally off of the 21-day moving average. Bollinger Bands tight. Look for a breakout or a breakdown. Most likely we'll see a break higher in the short term as stochastics MACD are reset, and volume was increasing on Friday. Additionally, Twist Biosciences looked like a reversal on Friday. Could see a follow through this week. RSI rising, Bollinger Bands tight, stochastics and MACD set up and ready to turn. Volume was well above average on Friday here as well. At the same time, restaurants and bars saw some strength last week. Texas Roadhouse has been rallying for over 6 weeks, closing at 52-week highs on Friday. Oscar Health, new on the IBD 50, a fade over the last week and a half, a bounce on Friday. Volume above average, MACD and stochastics turning. This one could follow through this week as well. Just make sure to check earnings on any new stocks you take this week. ACIW related to electronic payments and financials. This one, nice bounce off the lower Bollinger Band on Wednesday, following through Thursday, Friday on above average volume. Stochastics MACD turning. This is from a stochastics oversold and turning scan that identifies stocks that are oversold. Look for ACIW worldwide payments to continue. RSI rising. Looking for a retest of the highs on this relatively inexpensive financial related name this week. Same goes for Ali Financial. Looking for this follow through to the 50-day to continue back up to recent highs at 41.75. RSI rising. Again, stochastics oversold from this scan, MACD turning and volume increasing. Also, check out the real estate sector. There was strength there. In addition to the other 12 spider sectors, real estate had a nice reversal. Looking for a follow through. Highwoods Properties bouncing back above the 50-day, RSI rising. Stochastics and MACD again set up, ready for a turn. Volume above average. Additionally, we saw home builders bouncing, KBH and the Builders Index, Pulte Homes, most of these rallying last week. Toll Brothers, some better than others. Pulte Homes with a nice reversal back above the 50-day moving average. Stochastics MACD again here, oversold, turning, volume well above average on Friday, indicating we could see a retest of the highs in this consumer discretionary builders segment in the markets. Okay, traders, that's going to do it for me. This is Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com, June the 2nd, 2024. Make sure you check out the stocks below. With many of these reversing, like builders and financials, look for that to continue this week. I'll send out a watch list later tonight around 12 midnight on the East Coast, around 9 o'clock on the West Coast, so be sure to check your inbox for that. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care, and we'll see you in the morning. Ciao.